Bonjour, Makade Benise Nishnakas, Magazido Dem. Hi, it's Jamie, and today I wanted to talk about helping the helper and using beading as a means of helping ourselves as a helper. So we're going to do a quick smudge. I have it set up now in my bowl. Oh, pardon me. And then for you. Okay, so helping the helper and using beading. So I'd done this for work, but I thought it was a really good message, so I thought I'd just share it otherwise. So if you've ever done seed beads, beading projects, they're teeny tiny little beads, and there's some fantastic, beautiful, intricate patterns that you can make, and it just takes time and some effort and some patience. So I chose this kit because I put in a heart, so I've already made the heart, and then a flower. I chose them for very specific reasons, and then I also put in some lavender. So I chose the heart because you may have heard that saying, we wear a heart on our sleeves, and it has to do with how we show emotion and how we deal with stuff. And as a helper, a lot of the time we walk around with like this big shipping container full of stuff that we're carrying, and you'll see it in people's posture. If you look around, you'll see people kind of hunched over. It means like they're carrying a lot. And sometimes we have a sad heart. Sometimes we have a broken heart. Sometimes our heart just hurts because we just don't know how to help somebody. And so if we had a visual reminder to be able to say, you know what, I'm not having the best day today, but I'm still here because you're important to me, and I wanted to make sure that you were taken care of. That maybe people might have an easier time to be able to show us a little bit of kindness, and for us to show ourselves that kindness in a good, kind, caring way, that we're worth that time to take a break. We're worth that effort to take care of us. So that's why I chose the little heart. And then I had chosen a flower, and I had heard someone once say, we bead moccasins with flowers because it's hard to be mean to someone if you got flowers on your feet. And I thought that was pretty cute. I like that saying. And then in January, I was having a hard time because I had lost an uncle, even though they had led a very full life, and they were well loved. You still miss them. You still think about them. And I realized instead of looking around at the world, I was head down. And once I realized that, I said, okay, now what are you going to do about it? And so I picked up some beading and I put it in front of me, and I thought, if I'm going to sit with my head down, I may as well use it to my advantage. And so I started beading, and I was just really wanting to see the beauty in the world around me, and thinking, instead of thinking sad thoughts, thinking, I want to make something beautiful. I want to see that beauty in the world, and sometimes you have to make it to be able to see it. And then to really make sure that I felt better, to feel good, I actually gifted it away. I gifted it to a friend. And because of that, I feel like I was able to help myself through a difficult time. And you can't bead when you're crying because you can't see through the tears because you're looking down. You can't bead when you're angry or frustrated because it just seems 10 times harder for nothing. When you take your time and you slow down enough, that's when you're able to do some bead work and to make something look pretty cute. And then I'd chosen lavender. Like I said, I'll get to that in a second. And then there was something interesting that I wanted to share. So you see, this is the back, and that's the front. You can see the beads. This is the back where all the string is. And you can see there's a loose string from when I had difficulty tying a knot. And there's kind of these different areas where, this is where the beads sit on the front. And I liked seeing that part because we don't show part of that to everybody. We hide a lot of that. We hide the messy, the knots, the going back over stuff. We hide that, and we only show this to the world because that's how we cope with stuff. That's how we make it through a lot of hard times. And again, I think that we should be able to say, having a hard time, or that's a visual representation of how you're having a hard time. The pieces of string hanging loosely and the knots here and there and everywhere to try and keep it all together. It really does apply to life. So there's that part as well. And then I thought about, if I make it so that you have a little pin back that you can sew to one side, and then make that the front, and then you stitch around the edge, much like this one is finished. Can't see any unfinished edges now. And when you fill it with some lavender, that lavender is it's a calming medicine. It's fantastic for anxiety. It soothes migraines and headaches and tension. It helps slow your blood rate, reduce your blood pressure, relieve a little bit of stress. And that lavender is part of the mint family. So that's why I chose lavender to put in your kit, or to put in these kits inside the heart and the flower. So there you have it. If you have a chance to have a seat, do a little bit of beading, and smell some lavender or work with some lavender, then to remember the teachings that I've shared. And that's it. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you again.